Hey, 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 welcome to another episode of Spontaneous Disruption. It's your girl, L.
And it's your host, Nikki.
What's up, girl? How you doing, Miss Nikki?
I'm good. How you been? How you escape disaster?
I'm good now, but I was in Florida. I was visiting my sister in Tampa, and we all know Milton is on his way.
I know. I heard several hurricanes are on the way through Florida.
Yeah, so this one's coming straight through, and they just had Helene 2 weeks ago, which it wasn't a direct hit, but Milton
it didn't hit Tampa.
Is looking like a direct hit.
Okay, so Helene did not hit Tampa directly.
I mean, not directly, no, but they got a lot of, I think they got 7-foot waves maybe, and some flooding. So yeah, it's still a lot. They still, there was some impact and some damage still.
So your sister lives there? So.
Yeah, she's there. She said zone D, which is one of the last to evacuate. I was like, okay, well, by the time they tell you to evacuate, it'll be too late, won't it?
Yes.
But she said she researched her location and where she is. She's 90-something feet above I guess, sea level. I don't know. She was telling me some stuff. And she's not near the water.
About flooding? Is that what she's saying?
No, she's basically saying she doesn't have to worry about flooding, but I'm more concerned about power outages.
Yeah.
And cell phone towers being out.
And is she somewhere where she's like at someone's residence? Like she's safe? Like
no, she's safe. I think her building was just built maybe 3 years ago or so, and the code is different now, so she's
home.
Yeah, she's at home in her apartment. So yeah, she said her windows have, they're built to sustain Category 5 hurricane, and the roof and all of that. So everything's up to code because she's in a new building. But still, it's just scary. As you all know, we from Chicago, and ain't nobody used to all of that. Ain't nobody got time for all of that. Now you talking about snow digging out? Yeah, we understand that. We understand how to survive in those kind of conditions, but
not flooding. So even though like y'all are right on the water though, but I guess you just don't get hurricanes and stuff. But she.
So I was there.
I'd be, I think people who've been living in Florida and otherwise like native Floridians, like they're just like conditioned for it. But
girl, how about they had hurricane parties? So I'm at the hotel. I did not think this was a real thing. My sister said it, but I thought she said jokingly. She was like, "Girl, please, people had hurricane parties." So I'm at the hotel having breakfast, and I heard this one guy on the phone at the table next to me. He's like, "Yeah, what time you get off? It's party time. It's hurricane party. Somebody having a hurricane." I was like, what? This is like a real thing? They just hunker down and drink and party, I guess.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
They ain't scared. I was scared, so I got the hell up out of there.
That could never be me. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't doing that.
But I was here over the weekend, and of course my mother came into town, and so she's visiting for a little while.
I love your mom. She's like a tough cookie.
I love her too.
She got more street cred than you do.
I know. I'm not even going to deny that. She definitely does.
She packed pistols and everything.
Yeah. We all need to be packing pistols.
I know that's where you get it from.
Yeah, come November.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, you see, I got my shirt on today.
I see.
For my political candidate. I will not say.
Somebody told me they'll be out campaigning and registering people. I think they were for registering people to vote up until like maybe Monday or something. But,
yeah. Actually, the 7th, is that today? I think that's the last
Monday.
day.
It was Monday.
It was. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if you're not registered, you ain't voting.
Yeah, if you ain't registered, you ain't voting. Sorry, bro. But I will be there. I'm going to register. The first day of early voting, I believe it's October 15th. I will be there because I don't want no parts of the craziness that's going to occur the closer we get to November 6th, November 7th, whatever the date is, the actual election day. So.
Yeah. Give me up.
But anyway, I'm back home, and I'm just glad to be here.
Good. I'm glad you made it, because I was like, is she okay?
I know. Y'all just say a prayer for the Floridians and my sister as well. So
absolutely. And our colleagues.
And our colleagues for sure. So she's got all her snacks, and I asked if she had liquor just in case she's stuck in the house for days. Who knows?
Oh my gosh.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think it's crazy those people buy up all the toilet paper when that stuff happens.
Yeah, that's what they do. I don't really get it. I don't understand the whole toilet paper thing. But yeah. Anyway. All right, girl. We got a really good show. as they say.
Indeed.
And so we're going to start out with technically speaking. And so this first story, I should say, is a little bit creepy to me. So, Meta has the smart glasses. I think we talked about the smart glasses maybe last season or earlier in this season.
Yeah.
So basically, there are 2 Harvard students who developed the eye X-ray program, and they're to work in conjunction with Ray-Ban's Meta smart glasses. And this program can be used to identify an individual and obtain access to their personal information, including their home address. Okay.
Yeah, that's what's so scary. So you can just be
that
walking
is
down
so
the street
creepy. So it's basically
with the glasses on.
Yes.
See someone, identify them by face,
facial recognition. Yep.
Pull up their addresses. But stalkers,
right? And so that is like a stalker's
so
dream, and of course it's going to be horrible for women.
Yeah.
It's just craziness out here. So you can imagine someone looking at you, and apparently this eye X-ray. First of all, Ray-Ban Meta glasses, they can record up to 3 minutes of video. And so how the program works, you upload the footage to PIM Eyes, I think. It's a facial recognition tool that uses AI to match recorded faces to any publicly available image on the internet.
There needs to be some type of opt-out. Like something,
but like, how can you opt out if somebody else is wearing smart glasses? You don't know they're wearing them, and they're just looking at you and they're recording.
But I'm saying
you.
In terms of like for Meta, right? Like,
to
opt out of having your image processed and. Like,
I don't know how you can do that. I feel like the only way to do it. You can go
through Google and you can specify, like you can scrub for your.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna say. I just feel like the only way to do it is just to scrub your presence from the World Wide Web.
Even now, they have, I guess, Google Image. You can throw an image in and it'll try to like identify the person.
Mm-hmm.
So that's different. Like you have a picture, you capture a picture of somebody, which somebody could also do on the street, even without the glasses.
This is insane.
So no security.
That's definitely, privacy is a thing of the past. And like everywhere we go, we're like pretty much photographed. It's just creepy. But, on the 2 students' parts, these Harvard students, they're saying they're not releasing the program, but they just wanted to create this program to highlight the significant privacy concerns associated with the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses.
Okay, so they developed it just to prove a point?
Just to prove a point that they're supposedly not going to market it. But now that they have done this and put this idea out here, somebody else is going to throw it out there and actually market it for the creeps in the world and sell it on the dark web. Who knows? But to me, I just feel like once the technology exists, people can find it and use it. So I don't know. But to limit exposure to bad actors using the Meta smart glasses, they released a step-by-step instructions to help people remove themselves from the public databases that the engineers use to obtain personal information.
Okay.
So I guess that was nice of them. So they proved a point, and then were like, okay, for the general public, this is what you need to do to kind of just like scrub your image from publicly available spaces where this AI technology pulls information from.
I wonder though, does it purge it if you delete it from there?
I just feel like, is anything ever really purged?
Archived it, No,
I just feel like once things are out there about you and you're tagged in pictures and things like that, I don't know. It's just,
however, Apple claims that when you delete something from your phone, it's really deleted.
Girl,
I'm just telling you
how I feel about it. The train has left the station on all of this stuff already. Yeah,
and that's what they claim.
Hopefully they better back it up, because if somebody proves otherwise, that's going to be a huge problem. Yeah. So, all right, girl, what you got? That's scary enough, but what you got?
Well, this is actually a good development. It's regarding Google and basically, all the controversy around like AI manipulated images and how nobody knows the origin of them. A lot of deep fakes, things that look very realistic but aren't. Well, they've now basically in partnership with this coalition for content provenance and authenticity, with the acronym being CTPA. They partner with them to create basically almost like a watermark embedded in the images that are AI, so they can be identified more easily.
That's good.
Particularly for images that are created with their AI AI tools. So
is it going to be like mandatory for all AI created images? So that's the thing.
So no, not yet. However, and there are other C2PA members, which would include even Meta, Amazon, OpenAI. They have not yet implemented these authentication standards, but they do think that because they are members of that organization, like they are likely to follow suit. So hopefully it's supposed to be a standard that's adopted globally.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see that happen more. Yeah.
Yeah. But right now, just Google is kind of leading the way in doing that.
I guess my question too is, I mean, it's good, the watermark and everything.
They're not the only ones who can create it. Like AI
that's
images,
what I was saying.
So
and then do we get to know where they come from? Are they able to track? Like, because people create some wild stuff out here.
So I'm not really sure probably Google could trace it back to the user, but I'm not sure that necessarily like an individual could trace it back to the user, because the watermark looks like a Google logo, like the G, right? It doesn't identify like a name and like who created it, ID of a user. So say,
yeah, I'm wondering if they can do that if you have a VPN or anything like that. That's going to be hard to trace. Anyway,
they have a lot of bypasses now on those VPNs. They recognize they have a profile, and they reject a lot of those. The traffic coming from VPNs, because there is so much fraudulent activity going on with use of those.
Okay, well, that is some good news. So
some good news. But yeah,
speaking of Google, why should I be surprised about this? If they're doing like AI, people are in reality shows, they're in news shows. So now Google is using AI to make fake podcasts. Okay. I thought this was a very interesting story. You're going to lose your job. I was like, my goodness, we can't have nothing.
You mean like fake podcast episodes?
They can actually, this software supposedly can mimic interactions between two people, like in a podcast like setting. But let me get into the story, girl. Okay. So Google can now turn your research into AI generated podcasts, complete with 2 hosts that discuss what you've dug up. So the experimental feature lives within Notebook LM, the AI note-taking app Google launched last year. And it will have AI hosts summarize your material and make connections between topics and even banter back and forth. So they're actually your notes. It's crazy.
So where are the notes coming from?
The notes are coming from you. Like if you're doing your own research and you create all these notes, you dump them into this AI notebook.
Oh, I see.
Yes, you dump all your notes into this. Oh, you create your notes.
So you're prompting it to do this. Okay, got it.
So it's a prompt. So there are some limitations they're saying, and it's not a comprehensive or objective view of the topic. It's simply a reflection of your notes.
That's interesting.
It is kind of interesting.
And I could see some application for it too. I could.
Yeah.
Like for businesses, like particularly small businesses that want to do, I guess, podcasts or like audio shows around, product focused.
Yeah. I can see that.
And then maybe you want to talk about it as like position yourself as like an expert, and maybe it's not you, but it's the fake AI.
Well, these are the beginnings. Like that's some of the worry that they feel like that this AI is going to learn so much, it's just going to like take over.
Yeah. And you're doing the research for, and we're teaching it.
We are teaching it. And some of the other limitations they say is it takes several minutes to actually generate the podcast like discussion. And it's only available in English for now. But and they like to give the disclaimer that
get the AI Ebonics and everything else.
Oh my goodness! Right? And there's also the disclaimer that the AI is not always correct. So it's only as good as the information it's fed, basically.
And right. So if your research is coming from a questionable source,
which a lot of people's information does, people speak on stuff like it's facts. It's usually straight trash and inaccurate. I know. But anyway, so yeah, girl, what you got?
Well, I'm gonna move on to some low vibration news. I have to talk about this woman, this diabolical woman.
Not diabolical.
She's diabolical. Tanya Abosida. She is currently a Florida resident. She's been one, actually, but her grandmother lives in Illinois, and she defrauded her grandmother of $317,000.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Her grandma?
Her abuela.
Her mima?
Yes.
Her mima? Oh, yes. My goodness. Her own mima.
Her own grandmother. Yes.
Oh, girl.
Her own mima.
Do tell.
So, well, she's been sentenced to 3 years in order to pay full restitution, so paying back all that money. But basically what she did is, she's 39 years old. Her grandmother, I don't know the age of her grandmother, but obviously she's well into her senior years.
Yeah.
And she lives in, like I said, Illinois. And so she would call her grandmother up and just tell her she's in dire, straits, and she needed her to wire her money. She gave her like basically false pretenses. Like one time it was she needed money to transfer a truck title into her name. Another time she owed money to the IRS. She needed to pay some attorney fees. Like
you
all
39,
this stuff. Right?
Man.
39.
My God,
39.
You grown.
Well, I mean, you would think maybe the grandmother would be like, this is all suspect, but you know you want to help your kids or whatever. But at the same time, she was tripping. So this all happened like within, I don't know, about roughly like an 18-month period. And she had her grandmother wire her 12 different payments, all totaling up to $317,000.
Nana.
She got caught and basically sentenced, and they threw the book at her. They said after she finishes serving her time, she'll have to work on paying that money back.
So Nana reported her. How she could go?
I think the bank actually picked up on it.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And realized, like, this is suspect.
Shame on her.
So,
who does that?
To their own.
And Nana give you whatever you want, like, but dang, you're your own grandmama. That's crazy.
That's wild.
She's a crackhead, baby. But anyway.
She might have been.
All right, we're going to take it a little bit higher with Dr. Hokehe Echo. She is a board-certified pediatrician and the owner of Glow Pediatrics. It's the first Black-owned virtual autism clinic for children in the U.S. She's a mom of 3 with over a decade of experience working with children. She's trained extensively to conduct autism diagnostic evaluations using the CARS, C-A-R-S, standardized test. And now she is able to help children get diagnosed all over the United States. So congratulations to Dr. Echo out here doing great things. I'm always interested in autism. It seems to be so much more prevalent than it was when we were growing up. I always blame it on food. I have no idea what's happening. It's the environment.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many people on the spectrum now.
Yeah.
I have no idea. So congratulations to her. Shout out to her. She's doing God's work. So, hey. All right, so let's get started with the Internet of Things. What's thanging on the Internet, ma'am?
Oh, my gosh. Well, Diddy has basically shined some dark shadows upon some of his celebrity friends who are now kind of like, I guess, shaking in their boots.
Yeah, they are.
They're all scared.
They are throwing out all their baby oil.
They're going to get, right?
Throwing out their baby oil.
It's like, empty these bottles. Girl, what you gonna do with all that baby oil?
I don't know.
But I just remember I always go back to Cat Williams, and he says, Diddy likes to party. You gotta tell him no. And I'm these people obviously
there's a Diddy party,
him,
and there's the party after the party.
Yeah. So
he said, don't go to those.
These people accepted the invite, and so they said folks from the highest levels of the industry, the music industry, that is. And it's so funny that I think it was like our first year in podcasting. You were like, yeah, the music industry is due for a reckoning, something like that.
Yes, they haven't had a Me Too. And now it's like coming and it's crazy.
But it's all centered around Diddy though.
For now, but a lot of folks are scared, especially from the 90s. It was wild back then. So it's artists, executives, managers, other people, and basically and just some of his enablers as well too, who knew what was going on and just allowed it to happen, huh?
Yeah. So it's that, people who basically encouraged the behavior, basically looked the other way, knew what was going on, really didn't say anything. I don't see how they can possibly come after those people who didn't participate but maybe knew something. Now if they knew about like trafficking, like specific like crimes, then possibly but
that term is, you know, I understand it a little bit more. I want folks to get all over me, but that term, everybody may not have known or understood what trafficking was at the time. It's like, okay, you flew some hoes in to do a job, you know, or something. I don't know. That's what their mindset might have been. They might not have been thinking that he was really forcing these people into like sexual favors
Diddy knew what
to just was. Like get in. So I don't know.
He should have consulted one of his many lawyers about that. I'm sure one of his many lawyers was attending, and they should have known. And somebody should have warned him. Somebody, you know, like he might have gotten away with this if like maybe he did it a couple times and then like, you know, he did a warning or something. But certainly Diddy didn't seem like the type of person like to really take other people's advice.
No, I think he thought he was like King Kong, king of the world.
Exactly.
And he just did what he wanted to. That's why a lot of people didn't tell.
Yeah.
A lot of folks was like, he's quite powerful. He's capable of a lot of things. People were afraid of him.
Yeah, and
this is insane. I had no idea.
It's not just the music industry too. Like like who were being like kind of implicated or
all these people in his like
around
orbit.
Him. Yep.
Yeah, they looking for Farnsworth Bentley. You remember the one that used to carry the umbrella?
Yeah. Yeah. See, he thought he was out of Dodge and stuff.
Yeah. But, so all of a sudden he was just gone.
I'm sure he was organizing some of these freak offs.
He could have been. Who knows, girl? But they keep saying innocent until proven guilty. So, you know, I'll give him that. He allegedly did all these things, and I just had no idea, honey. That well is running really deep.
People have already basically convicted him in their minds because of what they saw him do to Cassie. And so, like, that's just the downfall. It's such
man,
damning.
He should just gave her money.
You know,
if he'd have gave her money, all of this stuff when it came out,
I think it would have still come out. I really
perhaps,
do.
yeah. I mean, before the lawsuit was known, like when she called him personally to say, "Dude, give me my 30 mil," he should just went on and did it under the table if that's what he was going to do. But I'm actually glad that it worked out the way that it did, because he didn't need to continue to move. If he in fact did these things, because allegedly he did. I'm not saying that he did, but if he did, he needed to, you know, them chickens then came home to roost, perhaps. Yeah. We shall see. You know, his mom has released a statement saying, you know, it's really like a lynching of her son. Of course she's going to say, you know, that's my baby. You know, everybody says that when they're a kid and did some stuff.
Yeah. She's going to defend him, but, you know. She's also not addressing like what he has done and what she knows he has done. So like, you know, I really discount anything she has to say.
I cannot see where either it was Kim or, you know, or Cassie, both women had long-standing relationships with him. I can't imagine, you know, if they wanted out that they didn't go talk to his mom or mention something to his mom or had some. I don't know.
And with them being together as long as they were, she probably seen something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, possibly.
But
yeah, girl. So yeah, as we were saying, honey, it is definitely. Oh Lord, not the freak offs. So, but yeah, like I said, there is like a reckoning now that is happening in the music industry. So I recently read about an anonymous celebrity who, you know, was filing a lawsuit asking the court to declare a sexual assault, an accuser who was alleging that this person is famous celebrity who again said he was anonymous. There were sexual assault claims and allegations that were starting to come out. And she, even before the young lady filed for these assault claims, this anonymous celebrity went to the court to try to stop the person from, you know, these allegations, which is weird. So I've never heard of that. So it was a highly unusual legal battle.
A certain celebrity, I wonder, who has lost weight.
Well, what I will tell you that it has recently come out. But so, you know, this anonymous plaintiff describes themselves, you know, as a celebrity and public figure who resides in Tennessee. So country music. And he was urging a federal court in Mississippi to declare a sexual assault accuser's allegations untrue and stop her from publicizing her accusations even before she filed the lawsuit. But apparently, I guess that didn't work. This person filed themselves as John Doe, and I think she was Jane Roe. But since the story broke, it has been said that, you know, well, it hasn't been said. It has Garth Brooks was actually revealed to be that anonymous person. So he's been being accused of sexual assault and battery from Jane Rowe, who says that she worked as a hairstylist and makeup artist for him and his wife at times. Was her name Trisha Yearwood, I think is his wife.
Well,
so yeah, honey, country music, rap music.
They all of them, right?
R&B coming out too. I never did hear back about what happened with Jason Derulo. That's only. And who else was that? Trey Songz also. There were accusations there as well.
I feel like so many people have accusations against him at this point.
It's coming. This is only the beginning of it. So, yeesh.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Girl, what else you got? What else is hanging on the internet? What's the buzz?
Well, I don't know. Have you watched the latest season of Love is Blind?
Yes, I have watched all of them up until, I guess, the next episode is it tomorrow? Tomorrow, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I have watched them all. I binge watched.
So you've seen this latest, I think it was maybe the last episode when they were at the pool party and one of the cast members who actually got engaged and flew off, to the island with her fiancé, Hannah Giles. Yes. She's one of the youngest ones.
She's an overinflated, and she's very immature, and she has an overinflated view of herself.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, there's nothing wrong with confidence, but definitely she came out, the report I have is just basically about her coming out with that list of red flags about her fiance, right? His name is Nick.
He's physical 29. List. Let's make this clear, folks. She had a physical list that she wrote out.
She did say basically she journals and it helps her to write things down. So she, what she wants to say aligns with what's, in her head and everything. And so I get it. But she left the list out.
I was going to say she left the list out. So to me,
which is kind of suspect.
That is very suspect. And it's passive aggressive. So I'll just let him see it. I won't say anything to him.
But also it's presumptuous because it's these are all the things that I need from him. But, there's no introspection about what it is that he needs from her. And what will make them better together. So his only thing was I don't necessarily disagree with her on everything. However, it should have been a conversation.
It should have been a conversation. So leave that out and you got a whole list of stuff. It's just who the I don't like you.
So there's some I guess what are the just clips of the upcoming episodes that are releasing tomorrow where she is just yelling at him at the top of her lungs about I turned you from a man to a boy, basically. I'm like, what? So that'll put square you basically calibrate you to the ego that we're dealing with here. And I don't know, when I first saw her early in the season, I was like, oh, she's cool, she whatever. And then maybe by the end of that episode that she was introduced, I was like, oh, she goofy.
Yeah, I thought she was very goofy because she was being manipulated by the idiot guy, the one that always talks about his Rolex and how wealthy he is, and he's an art dealer.
He's annoying. That, and the third.
He was such an ass.
That was so annoying.
The way that she tried to break up with him, and then he kept trying to say, "Well, what if I asked you to marry?" He was only interested in winning.
Did you?
What
if
I asked you to marry me now? What would you say?
Love is Blind Japan, because there's another guy on there.
He was like that. Oh, pukey.
So he pretended he was a restaurateur and then well, he said he was, but he was actually just an employee, basically worked kitchen or whatever at the restaurant, which is fine. He just lied about it. But then the woman he paired with was a gold digger. All her conversations about asking about money and stuff, but I don't know. So obviously the woman the guy who kept talking about his Rolex money, on this season of Love is Blind US.
She annoyed me too, though.
Oh my gosh. They were a match made for each other, though. I'm used to seducing
them with my eyes. And all these women, they want to be women empowerment and they want to be all these boss women. I don't want that.
She saw him and was totally unimpressed. I want to be taken care of. She was totally unimpressed.
Yeah, he was not. Yeah. That's why it's Love is Blind. You're not supposed to go for looks, though.
Right? Well, they're both remain shallow and maybe single. Who knows?
I was really actually looking forward to seeing them on the trip, and they weren't there. But I guess because
they broke up before.
Yeah,
so they went on a trip. It was the weirdest thing when they started talking about taking a trip before the trip to with everybody else.
Yeah.
We're gonna meet up in Florida. I knew that something was up.
Because did he ask her even to? Did he propose?
He just promised her that he was gonna take her on this trip.
Yeah, because I think she was like, no, I'm not ready to answer something yet. So I didn't really get that. But he was like, oh, she's hot. And all
she wasn't
that,
ready to say that she loved him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loved her. He said he loved her.
No, which was FOS. He totally tried to manipulate Hannah.
Yeah, and get with her.
Yeah.
And that fell apart.
Girl, but yeah, they were entertaining. I thought they would have been really entertaining if they would have made the trip. But hey, they didn't. So we did actually get enough entertainment. I don't like any of the couples. I especially don't like the one who now knows that he's part African American. He's with she's a beautiful young lady, also African American, and she's just annoying to me. And she's like, I just love him. I usually like, what school did you go to? What kind of job? And he's just like none of those things. And he's just like the best person ever. And now he's like starting to annoy her.
Everybody on the show who has an ounce of black is very whitewashed.
Oh my goodness. So. Yeah. I was really surprised
but this season, in addition to maybe last season, was probably the most entertaining to me.
Yeah.
Probably the most entertaining.
We'll see what happens, but as the couples go on, I don't really like any of them. And what happened with that other couple that got into it that they didn't really show any of the footage? They just showed them he slept somewhere else the night before and he came back to the room to talk to her, and he alluded to the fact that she called him out of his name.
Girl, I don't even know which couple that is. I can't remember.
I don't know, but he came back to the room and she was like, we can get through this. He's like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't think anybody's going to end up staying together at Bald Pine. Maybe the two eclectic couple.
Yeah, the one who's like Native American, or I don't know what she is. She's with the white guy. He was asking about her.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about, yeah.
Ethnicity. He didn't really ask her, but she was hinting to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they're my only bet.
Yeah. I'm not betting on any of them. But we'll see. I'll continue to watch. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this brings me to our main topic. Desperately seeking love.
Who is desperate and seeking love?
Some of these folks. But I really wanted to talk about some practical ways of finding, I don't want to say love or even dating or getting into a relationship.
I ain't gonna be able to tell you.
I mean, I don't have all the answers. I'll tell you what. I don't, because honey, I circled the block. So I'm back with a high school ex, so I don't even know how to circle the block. So I don't really know
anybody from high school. I didn't date anybody from high school. But I date from college, but he's married with 3 kids.
3 babies. Yeah, girl. I done circled the block.
The ex-husband is deceased.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man.
I know it's hot out here for a pimp.
Well, I think it would be if I was looking. But like the thing is, though, I seem to attract unwanted attention sometimes.
I was gonna say, you don't have any shortage of men that approach you.
But it's like, but I'm not interested.
Not everybody, of course not. Yeah,
most of the time,
but you've had some decent ones.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like some of the men I meet are decent, but like I'm also like they meet me at a time when I'm not really wanting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, well, that's some of the discussion we can have. Yeah. I was having a conversation with my sister this past weekend because I was in Florida took the bae with me. Mm-hmm. And it was just the 3 of us. We've done this plenty of times before. Yeah. But I was like, look, I'm coming back. We're going to find you a +1. Girl, but I started asking her, I was like, what do you want? And she, even at her age, and she's my older sister, she still was like, I was like, well, that's the first thing you need to do, in my opinion.
Know what you want.
You have to know it, because a lot of women be like, well, I know what I don't want. Of course you don't want to rape her and a killer, and of course you know that, but you also you really need to know what it is you want. You need to know what it is you're looking for.
But you know where that stems from, I think, is like somewhat of a lack of knowledge of like self.
Yeah.
It's a lack of self-awareness and self-knowledge to some extent. I'm not saying fully, but
yeah,
it takes some, again, introspection and, exploration of self.
Yeah, I have to agree with that too. That's one of the things that I was reading. It's like some of the biggest issue in not being able to find like a connection with somebody is that, you may not be feeling good about yourself. You have to like yourself and like your life. You have to be the person that you'd want to meet, in my opinion. Right?
I think you have to be the person you'd want to meet.
I do. Why do you want to be somebody?
But you might want similar qualities, you know what I mean? Like in the person, but they're not necessarily exactly, it's not a mirror image.
Not a mirror image, but of course, like you want someone who is
honest,
mentally,
has integrity,
stable, things like
stable,
that is what I mean.
Financially,
stable.
Whatever, like, whatever.
Yeah, you want them to have some of those qualities, but I think it is really important to actually know what it is you want. And some people just go out here dating willy-nilly. You have to really think about and know what it is you're looking for,
Yeah, you definitely have to be thoughtful about that.
And some of the other things is she doesn't go anywhere. So we talked about that. Like, I have to drag her out when we go out. And sometimes she'll stand us up and be like, yeah, y'all just go in and go.
That's
And it's hilarious because when we got back home, she's just like, I don't know how y'all do it. Y'all go
how y'all do it either.
Go and go. My mom says that all the time. Like, he's like my buddy, though. Not only is he my boo, he's my friend.
Yeah, no, I know.
So we have a good time and we kicks it.
But y'all kick it all the time. So, by the way, we're not talking about when we say we don't know how y'all do it. We're not talking about the fact that y'all hang out all together all the time, because I could do that. We talking about the fact that y'all be in the streets all the time. I mean, we spend y'all time party, together, you know what I mean? Y'all enjoy like hanging out.
Yeah, we enjoy each other's company, and we like music. A lot of it we connect. We have a lot of similarities in some things, and there's a lot of things that are different. But some of our basic core values are the same,
similar.
Yeah. So I don't know. And another thing, people say you have to, in order to find a relationship, you need to look up from your phone. Be present, look around. That's another thing. I told my sister one time, I'm like, girl, this guy like looking at you, walk back and forth, and you talking to him, he all in your face. She's like, I ain't even paying attention. I'm like, you're not even aware of your surroundings.
Your sister is like super cute. Like, I'm sure that
she's
she attracts like attention and stuff like that. But so it's, I would say, you need to not necessarily be, particularly if you're looking.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly if you're engaged on, in a date or an interaction with somebody. I can't stand to see that, even with other people.
Yeah.
Being somewhere and then the person
is on the phone the whole time. She's not even engaged. That's a lot of that going on nowadays. Why are you there? Yeah, so.
Why? Stay at home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go somewhere else.
How do you not
be by yourself?
Can't get to know people if you're looking at your phone and not, you have to give people your full attention if you're like into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
just like we purposely look away when we don't want to attract someone's attention.
Oh my God, yeah, I've done that.
It is the exact same thing.
Like,
if you're tied into your phone, or you're looking at whatever you're looking at, reading or whatever, and you're not really making eye contact and things like that. Yeah. I think that may be one of the reasons why, because I'm friendly. I'm too friendly.
Yeah.
Like I'll be in Home Depot.
Yeah.
Be like, oh my
God,
how are you?
Super friendly. Yes.
Whatever, and I keep walking because I grew up in Texas, even though I'm from
people
Jersey.
take that as flirting sometimes too. So I'm super friendly. I started talking there. Sometimes it goes in a different direction. I'm like, I ain't even trying to go there.
I wasn't really trying to
we
ask for all that.
I got a man.
I don't. However, I wasn't looking for that.
Not looking for you.
No smoke on it.
It'd be like, not you. Okay. But and some of the other things I try to do, I tell her, like, try to get out, join some different groups. Like, there's a whole Black Tampa group that's out there, or whatever. I don't necessarily advocate for dating websites. I don't know, because I'm a more traditional person, but Boo was like telling her, you need to get with the times. But I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't want to say that I'm not open to dating apps, but we had this conversation on this podcast before. I've never used a dating app. Never. Mm-hmm. I mean, I basically went from, being married to, being separated to, starting to date my ex from high school.
I have before, but it's been so long. I honestly don't even remember what they were. And on top of that, I'm not sure that I was never like successful, I would say. So like, I don't know that I would ever do it again. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's some new stuff out there. I would explore the possibility of a matchmaker. Yeah. I would explore that possibility because they have I've seen a couple of apps for, I don't know what they're called.
I think that's what I would prefer to do. Go to a professional matchmaker.
Like they match you.
Yeah, and they've done background checks.
But right, you know, like at the moment, I don't know what they do. But at the moment, like I'm not even interested in that.
Yeah,
I'm chilling.
I just, you know, my biggest thing, I can't really talk. Boy, y'all don't really listen to me, I guess. But I have to meet people through other people. You have to come with references, and it has to be people that I trust. Like, if you're like, oh, I know somebody, I would trust you, right? I would trust you to hook me up with somebody because, you know, if you know me.
I would hook you up with somebody who I thought was good for you, but, like, without having spoken to you specifically about what you want. It might not be, like, the right fit, but like somebody who I might think is good for you.
I have to even accept that.
I don't feel like people have to come from like by reference.
They don't have to. I said I prefer.
No. Okay, got you. So like, you know, you prefer that. I don't have a preference.
Yeah.
I don't really have a preference because I think, you know, you can meet people
always
anywhere.
Limited, yeah.
I feel like you can meet people anywhere. To be honest.
Can. I mean, yeah. I prefer to, but I also prefer if not that way, I prefer to meet people more organically.
Yeah, I definitely prefer to meet people. I prefer to meet people organically.
Like the more traditional way.
I can't even think of a time when someone was just like, "Oh, I want you to go out with my nephew." You know what I mean? Or my brother, baby mama, or something. Cousin. You know what I mean? Like I don't even remember something like that. Yeah. Like except when I was like super young, but I don't know.
So I don't know. I'm always thinking. I had no idea at this time in my life or my sister's life that dating would be so difficult. I could just remember when I was younger, man. I, you know, never had any problems meeting people. But I guess once you're of age, you've acquired some things in your life. People are married and divorced. People have kids. There's just so much other things that have happened in life that it's just different.
I do think even something you said
my
earlier.
Mom at her age, my mother's in her 70s. My dad passed away many years ago. You know, she's like, these men still play games even at 70 or late 60s. I'm like, this is crazy.
That is wild. But you know, I do think what you said earlier, and I've heard this from a lot of different people, like different, you know, podcasters and other folks, like just talking about, oh, you got to get out, basically. Like, you have to leave your house. Obviously, you're 4 walls.
I'll tell my sister
like,
that,
unless you're going to date the Uber driver or something, the Uber Eats.
Mavis man that you build it. I don't know, because you don't see nobody.
Pizza man, you know what I mean? The mailman.
Right.
Like, your options are limited.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, so I do think, but part of that can just be doing things that you really do enjoy. So I get out, you know, I ride my bicycle. I've met people in the pool, at the gym, you know, I've met people, lots of places you can join groups to do that. Swimming, of course, lessons.
Oh God!
Even though you're not looking,
I am looking,
but you're gonna have to fend them off.
The why?
You're gonna have to fend them off when you start taking your swimming lessons.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. There's tons of things that you can do in life to meet people organically, naturally. See a matchmaker. I don't know, but yeah, being at home alone. And looking at your 4 walls or 3 walls and 1 TV, it's not going to help.
Netflix be calling me. The documentaries, man.
But I will tell you to start with thinking about what it is you do want and don't depart from that necessarily. But I'm not talking about stuff like, oh, you got to be 6 feet, you got to make 7 figures, you got to have 8 figures in the bank. I ain't talking about that. I mean, you have to think about what you really want out of your relationship.
You go right ahead. But like basically those things are superficial, you know, at the end of the day.
Talking about real connections.
Yeah. Definitely. So, yeah.
All right. Well, you got any final words on that?
No, but I mean, I think there's some value in just kind of being by yourself too, if there's still like things like you need to heal, you need
if you're not ready
to, well, you know, you don't, if you're not interested, you know, you could, who knows what you could be going through. So yeah, like it's okay to take a little time off.
Take a little time off and then enjoy the view. Yeah.
And just, you know, watch Netflix documentaries or something. That's what I do. Worst ex ever.
Oh my goodness, that was
girl.
I watched all of that too.
Oh my gosh,
there's some crazy people out
here.
That'll
sustain you. The wrong Missy. Yeah. You know.
Oh my goodness, I saw that too.
That's blind dates.
Craziness. Scarciness out here, but it is love is possible. Or, let's just start with getting into a valuable relationship, connecting with someone, and let's just hope it grows to love. But yeah.
Right. If that's what you want. And I think most people want love. I think most people do want love. Yeah. But it also evades a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have experienced it in my life.
Amen.
I don't know if I will. Well, maybe I will. I'm going to say I will.
Well, don't say you won't. If that's what you want, you will.
I will.
Yep.
I will.
Yes, ma'am.
I will again. One day.
All right. So you want to get some each one, teach one?
We sure can.
All right. I shall go first.
Well,
I think I've said this before, but I think finding love really starts with yourself. You have to find love within yourself. Love yourself. Love your life. I think, and then the rest will just come, but focus on yourself if that's what you need to do. Sometimes finding love is just, more about being the right person than finding the right person. So if you're not prepared for the love you want, it's unlikely that you'll recognize it when a person comes along. That's what I say. So that's my each one teach one. What you got?
Yourself.
Have you thought about
it? Mine is be true to your word.
Oh, Suki.
If you say you're going to do something, do it. So, that's how you basically establish integrity. Mm-hmm. And also, it helps you to bond with other people because they feel like, you're dependable. They can count on you and stuff like that. So follow through, too, on, the commitments that you make to yourself, right? Speak those out loud.
Yeah.
So, and then back up your words with, action.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's pretty much it.
All right. So
message.
Good message, sis. And so that brings us to the end of our show. And we want to thank you for sticking with us as we continue to grow. You can listen and subscribe to the show on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We also invite you to like and follow us on IG and TikTok and email us at spontaneousdisruption@gmail.com to chat with your hosts or propose topics for future episodes. With that, we'll see you next week, and
we out.